let me grind while I build this road. Fuck yeah. Holy shit, it's beef supreme! Jason!
You've been blinded by science.
Good morning and happy Wednesday, everybody.
My neck just cracked like a xylophone.
Yee.
Good morning. Good Wednesday?
Yes.
Good hump day, as it were.
Indeed Wednesday.
Hello, deadweight.
Blinded by entertainment.
Jordan, deadweight, Nate, and Jason. It's good to see you.
What do I get to hum?
Well, you got to buy a camel.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. Like that one Geico is it Geico? That camel that's like, hey, what day is it? Hump day.
I only know Geico has the gecko.
Oh. Wow.
And then Aflac has the duck.
Aflac.
I don't, yeah. Congratulations, Jason.
I stopped smoking though? Did you stop smoking? No, like I think because Camels are a brand of cigarette.
Yeah.
So I think I used to smoke Camels. How do you smoke an entire camel? Like the meat? I'm just kidding.
Camels are good cigarettes.
And you said I have to buy a camel. I know. Alls I know is my humps bring all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better
Than yours.
than yours.
Yeah.
How is everybody? It's been a several days. Don't worry, it's not like we've been having a marg party or anything.
There was snow that we should have shoveled, but we didn't shovel, and we were lazy, and then we just were lazy and tired, and
Yeah.
we had some movie days. We watched lots of. We're gonna talk mainly about one today, but we watched lots of movies. We watched Return to Oz. That was an interesting movie.
Return to Oz, which is
With
somehow
like Fairuza Balk.
she gets much younger
Yeah.
than she was.
A Disney movie from the 80s, mildly frightening for a child's movie. It was good though. I liked it.
I have I have a spot in my nose that hurts from blowing it because it's dry.
We also watched The Changeling from 1980.
And 13 Ghosts.
Yeah, from like 19.
It had what was it
50?
called? Like Spook Vision or
50,
something?
50.
13 Ghosts.
Yeah, Spook Vision. I don't know.
Glasses.
Not to be
In the
confused
theater.
with the 13 Ghosts from 2001 with Matthew Lillard.
Yes, not to be concerned.
Yeah.
Not to be. Oh yeah, this bad boy.
The Ghost Viewer.
So this is the Ghost Viewer.
We tried to make some by coloring a piece of plastic with Sharpie marker, but
Freaking nose hurts. So here's Matthew Lillard.
yeah.
Giving the finger. But so with this movie, how it was pitched was back in the day. They in the theater you couldn't see the ghosts. Actually, here's a good. The one that we watched, unfortunately, wasn't quite like that because.
Well, no, I think you could see the ghosts in the movie. Like back in the day, you could see them, but the thing just helped it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you'll see them come to life in color through Illusiono. So what it was is that basically something on the screen. Well, I guess when they put the glasses on, it's to indicate you put your glasses on.
Yeah.
And so you can barely see them there. But when you look through the red, you can really
see them a bit more.
And if you're super scared,
Yeah.
you can use the blue and you don't
It is
see
not
them.
scary. The freaking chef. Oh my god, because it's just like
It's like the Muppet Chef.
Oh, the freaking lion tamer.
The lion tamer.
Oh, you can tell it's somebody with a suit that like goes up to here, and then there's like a fake stump neck, and
Yeah.
then they're like, I don't know.
These were the ghosts.
It was so bad, so cheesy, but also like good, in
Good,
like a
great.
cheesy, terrible, cheesy way.
Yeah, and it's all the sun's
cheesy.
fault. All the sun's fault.
So cheesy.
Yeah, you can actually. So these are the 13 ghosts.
Yeah.
You can actually tell that this is something on top of somebody's shoulders
Yeah.
blocking their head. Great stuff.
I did really enjoy how cheesy it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, that's part of the magic of it. It's part of the magic.
Yeah.
And we
The Changeling, 1980.
That was good. It was
Yeah.
A twist at the end.
Yes.
I don't know. We give it away. I mean, it's a pretty old movie.
I mean, yeah, they've had time to watch it. So
it's basically what is found out is the boy that's haunting this man in the house he's in was murdered by his dad. And then his dad said that he sent him to Europe somewhere to go to a hospital. And then he came back. But the child that came back was not the original child.
because the original child was killed.
Thusly, he's a changeling.
Yes.
He changed. And
But it
then,
was an interesting movie.
then he basically goes and tells this kid,
Or the old man by now.
yeah, it tells the old man, you always knew you weren't this kid.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about? But, I mean, I can see how that would be a little discombobulating, you know?
And then we watched some
Sherlock Holmes.
Some 1939 Sherlock Holmes.
The
movies.
first two that
Yeah.
came out, The Hound of the Baskerville. Oh. I put down the wrong finger first. I was like, The Hound of the Baskervilles. And The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I don't know. I like a good whodunit.
Yeah.
You know? I find old movies unwatchable. I
I'm
find new
enjoying it.
movies unwatchable. Jason, I find old movies or new movies to be mostly putrid. I don't even know how to say it. Every time we watch something, I'm like,
Although
this was $700 million?
the movie that we will be mostly talking about today is
Yeah, Jason,
11 years old by this point. So is that old?
No.
It's within the
we
past
had we have moved far enough in time that everything that happened in the movie we watched should not have been allowed to happen. I can't believe you have a different opinion from me.
Jason, I will say in regards to old movies, you do need to watch The Night of the Hunter. It is so good.
Yeah, it's
a
creepy.
very good movie.
Yeah, it's that one we talked about where he's got the love and hate on his knuckles.
Yeah, he's like this preacher man.
Maybe
So good.
if you're lucky, Jason, I'll show you a Jinjee. He's sleeping in his spot though, which is rare. Carl did come this morning for food and pets and love.
Oh, he started this new thing where we need to walk him over to the campers all the time.
Yeah, we don't. So where we are, there's our yard, and probably 50 feet away, probably 20 feet away, 10 meters, wherever you are in the world, is the town hall, the old town hall, and then beside that is
some storage.
Yeah,
trailers.
they're old semi trailers, refrigerated units and stuff that apparently this old guy has a bunch of things stored in it. And we've never seen them opened or anything. But that's kind of where Carl hangs out.
He likes to hang out underneath them.
Yeah, so when we feed him, we'll notice that sometimes he'll leave and then come back. And then he won't actually eat any of the food or drink any of the water. We're like, well, he probably wants to go for a walk.
Yeah. So he takes us on little walks now.
Yeah, so we go out to him. He comes out and greets us with a meh, 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 and a stretch. And then we pet him, and then he walks out the back, and we follow him, and he checks.
He floops.
He checks that we're following him.
Pets,
yeah,
and he rubs against us, and then walks forward a little bit more, and turns and looks and makes sure we're following, and floops for pets.
And then he goes under. We take him all the way over to those trailers, and he has this there's railroad ties that are used to stabilize the legs of the trailers, and he sits on them, and this is how he makes biscuits. He doesn't just knead, he goes, and we'll
You
pet
got
him.
him to purr?
I got him purring. He purred today too. So the only thing we figured is that or my thoughts were is we feed him. So he's taking, because yesterday last night when it's dark, you know, we walk him over there.
Just because.
Because from there forward, he's got more things so that if there was coyotes,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be as...
There's a long drainage tunnel
Yeah.
that he can go in that a coyote couldn't follow him in.
But last night I took him over there and we're sitting I took him over to his, he goes to his little railroad tie and he sits there. And all of a sudden he looks down, back, comes up with a mouse in his mouth, and he's like looking at me like, well, I'll share with you now. And I'm like, oh God. And then he goes under the other camper and I was like, okay, have a good night. And I left as he decimated
Oh,
it.
there's a magpie out.
But yeah, I can only think that because we take care of him, he's like, here, I'll cook for you tonight. And we're like,
Eat the mouse, Evan.
I should have done that thing like parents do to kids. Yum, 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 yum.
When you
So
play
good.
tea.
Yeah,
Delicious tea.
it's very, very sweet.
It's the most adorable thing. Oh, he's so
Jinjee's
sweet.
been kind of,
A little jelly.
because we smell like him a lot,
Yeah.
but we make sure he knows that we love him.
Carl
but
needs love too.
there's something about Carl in a sense that he's never been someone's pet. He's never had much interaction with humans other than from what we know someone tried to catch him once.
Yeah.
And
Like whoever, like if he was at that farm, I do know that people would go there and put food out for the cats. So like, I don't know what level of interaction they would have other than like, hey cats, here's food.
yeah, and so to kind of basically, I don't know, break down those walls of insecurity, and he lets me touch his belly when he rolls over.
Like we can
Where-
almost pick him up.
Jinjee will shred my arm like fucking Swiss cheese if I touch his stomach.
He loves us so much, specifically Evan. Like he really loves Evan. He loves Evan.
It's
so
only
much.
because I like lay on the ground and stuff. And
He's like,
but like he, yeah. So it's very unique, I guess. Kind of like taming a coyote that just keeps coming to your yard, and it's very. Yeah, there's the
the magpie.
the burbs. Oh, that's a small window now.
The magpies, like, we put out food for the magpies eat the cat food.
Two burbs.
Oh, and so do chickadees.
The birds that growing up, my grandma used to have a bird book, and for some
Yeah.
reason I was like obsessed with it.
Yeah,
And-
we've seen the chickadees coming and getting cat food, so I had to Google it. They do eat bits of flesh. I was a little grossed out to find that information, but
I was trying to open a new tab.
yeah,
but
little black cap chickadees. They're very, very cute, but it's just like mildly disturbing to see them like take cat food.
I tried to open too many tabs. It's like
Oh no.
no,
freaking
it's
out.
just like that's enough tabs.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, I was gonna show you the chickadees.
It's fine.
Yeah, they're like little tiny birds with the
They're
little
very
black
cute.
heads, and they're really, really cute. Little did we know, because I always wondered how they survived the winter.
Oh, but these
they eat whatever.
these magpies will put away like that entire board of food.
Oh, there's one. He's fat.
Yeah.
He's so fat.
We've watched it. We've watched them like clean an entire board of food.
Yeah, and then you know that when the coyotes go to come in, they're pissed off because the birds ate all the food.
Yeah.
And it's
You mean the forest puppies?
yeah, the forest puppies. We encountered the forest puppies.
Yeah.
We see them pop up on the camera, and we'll give them a minute or two, and then I'll go out and clap my hands
Yeah.
and say,
Fuck off.
"Get out of here, you fucking fucker!" Basically, even though they do look like forest puppies,
Yeah.
I've read that you would only be able to tame a forest puppy if you got it from birth,
Yeah.
and otherwise never trust it.
Never trust a forest puppy.
Never trust a forest puppy. Oh, that reminds me that video we seen yesterday. Gonna pet that dog.
Put that down.
Gonna pet that dog. Okay, that's worth. Can I pet that dog? It's gotta be. Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Gonna pet that dog. Pet that dog. You ready? The internet's
This is
not.
so good. Why is there no volume?
What? Is it
What's-
muted? Oh, it is muted. Sorry, guys.
JK.
This is when Scone was a child.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
Gonna pet that dog. It's so good. And then
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog?
can I pet that dog song? So this was on Leon Lush's channel. We probably.
It's,
Fine. It's so
Don't-
good though. This one.
no, I don't think so.
Oh,
Can I pet that
yeah, it
dog?
is. It is.
No.
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I pet
sleeping.
that dog?
Can I pet that dog? Okay. Sorry, I just that popped into my head, and it's just so great. That accent on that little girl is beautiful. Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Okay, you guys, I know what you're here for. You're here to know if you should watch. You should watch Cloud Atlas.
The answer is maybe.
The answer,
Maybe.
the answer is most definitely no.
Maybe.
It's 100% in the no.
It's a maybe. But they can't see what you're doing. That was a very brief moment of Asian face. And they do this a lot. A
So
lot of race swapping in this movie. And that's maybe not even just race swapping. There's also there's so much. Oh my.
well, we got.
get
Don't
there,
worry,
though.
we
We're
got
gonna get
the
there.
we got the evidence.
Yeah.
So not only did they have characters play multiple or people play multiple characters, they did a lot of fancy makeups,
Actors.
like this guy.
But they give them all these triangle eyebrows. I call them trongle brows. And it's just it's so offensive.
They're trying to have an emotional moment, and you're looking at this man like, how didn't you look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do this?
Probably one of the worst too is when they make Halle Berry
fat suit.
into Asian old man.
Yeah. Oh, well, we go.
Note that the story itself is meant to depict we all make accidents and mistakes in our lives, but we all get chances to rectify it. So it's not it's important not to get super angry at the person who unalived themselves. I think is
Yeah,
also something
it was
to,
more so less that than
remember when you're watching it.
yeah. For me, it was less that he did that as so much as he planned it for the guy to find him. He wrote
I don't
it.
think he necessarily planned
He
it.
did. He said, "Meet me here and meet me here." And then when he got to place B, he was in the tub with no back of his head.
Okay.
So that it just I don't know. Certain things, like I said, certain stuff seemed unnecessary, but maybe it's just my sensibilities. The actors are quite, there's a lot of people in it. There's, Tom Hanks, Halle Berry, Hugo Weaving, who, note to self, if you meet Hugo Weaving, he might be a bad guy.
Yeah, so every there's a chart a nice chart we found.
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving's character continuously is evil incarnate for every
Yeah.
role he plays. Every role
So
he plays.
beware of Hugo if you meet him. He's probably a nice guy.
Yeah.
Could be evil. Jim Sturgis, he was the guy who freed the slave man.
Yes,
right?
he was, yeah.
Hugh Grant, this guy was the composer.
Yeah.
Jim Broadbent, he was probably my favorite. Bae Duna?
Yeah, she played Yonmi Yonmi, sorry.
Yeah.
And she also played they gave her Asian face and they also gave her Latino face, and those were very unfortunate. Oh, and they also gave her white face at the very, very end, in the far future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
She only plays a couple.
Yeah, she's in
People.
a few lives. Yeah.
This guy is kind of he's an
Sixsmith.
interviewer.
He plays
Yeah.
Sixsmith.
I don't know this guy.
Yeah.
This guy, he gets Asian makeup too.
Yeah, he's the black man they give, but it's really just the eyebrows. They give him like Asian eyebrows, and it's weird.
How's my twin flame doing? He is doing well. As you can see, he's sleeping in his bag that he loves so much. But yeah, all these people, and not a single one of them said, "Oh, that's a good makeup. Don't do this. Don't do
Like,
this,
it's really
Hugh."
bad. That's Hugh Grant.
So this is the epic, the epoch of it all. And below you can see it's made by these scene stealers, TomMorseBrown.com. Krissy found it, and it was actually like, it's great.
I wish we had it the other night when we were watching the movie.
So it kind of, I believe these are just the different timelines, correct?
Yeah, but it's also showing you who has the comet tattoo, so that way you know, like, that's
Oh, is
the
that
same
this?
yeah, so that's the same person throughout each like reincarnated throughout each lifetime.
Okay. So in this particular lifetime, this guy is
He's a lawyer.
Yeah, a lawyer who's working with
That's his
Hugo
father-in-law.
Weaving, to buy and sell slaves.
Yeah.
His wife is the
Tilda.
ginger makeup.
Yeah. When they gave the Asian lady white lady ginger makeup.
Yeah. There, and then, I mean, there was a reverend, I thought. Yeah, I can remember. But either way, the next one is about the kind of.
Oh, but it also, yeah. So, if you scroll over to, So, the person he helped is that
This
man
gentleman.
right there. So,
and it turns out basically if he didn't help him, yeah, they don't have Tom Hanks's character.
yeah,
in here.
they do right there. Dr. Henry Goose, the
Oh.
everyman. He's the everyman chooser.
Oh, so Tom Hanks is poisoning this guy so that he can steal his shit. But because this guy helps free this slave man, the slave man helps save his life. So he gets to go home to his family, which is
Yeah.
this woman.
His wife. And then they tell their father-in-law at the very end, we're going to go help free slaves. Peace out.
This is
That's her.
This is a ginger makeup
Yeah.
on an Asian woman. Out of some of them, I will say, sure, someone could potentially look like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like
It's not the most jarring, but it's not the best. It's definitely not the best.
No. The next one is Mr. Frobisher.
Yes.
He is a pianist, and he goes to meet Jim Broadbent, who is a wonderful composer.
Vivian Ayres.
His Jewish Caucasian wife, Halle Berry, Jocasta, sleeps with him.
Yeah.
He is a typical. I guess he would be bisexual. No, when he slept with Halle Berry, he said he just did it because. But he is in love with this man, Sixsmith. That he's just a hotel manager. Tom Hanks basically just kind of says, "Oh, hey, Dan, how's it going?" Basically says, if you want to stay here,
you can stay here,
Yeah,
but it'll
but-
cost you a lot of money for me to pretend like you're not here.
yeah. Hugo Weaving in this one, I don't remember specifically what he was doing.
I know she at some point he showed up at their house for supper, and he mentioned that like she's in love with him.
Oh,
but
yes.
he was like, why can't they be together? And then he was like, you can't be so ignorant as to what's going on in Germany right now.
Oh, yes, that
So
is
it's
correct.
it's just kind of I don't think he necessarily particularly killed anybody in that lifetime, but it's heavily like suggested that he is a Nazi.
Yeah. Also, Powwow, it's good to see you. It's all Dan. We're talking about Cloud Atlas.
One of the best worst movies.
Just worst. I'm just kidding. So basically, this guy, he helps this old composer create something beautiful called the Cloud Atlas, right? I believe is the name of the record.
Sextet, yeah.
Cloud Atlas Sextet.
Yeah.
But he has a very bad past where he's like a bugger.
He was a male toot.
Yeah, and he buggered everybody and blah, blah, blah. And so he goes, "That's mine. You can't leave till I tell you, or I'll tell everyone you're a piece of shit."
Yeah.
And ruin your life. And that's after he thinks they have a passionate moment. And the old man's like, he literally says, "I'm far too old for a buggering from a young man." And then he becomes like blackmails him, right? I found that storyline, I mean, it's okay.
Oh. But it says choice and turning point. So I think that's also important to pay attention to. So to his own masterpiece, Frobisher shoots ours, but then shoots himself.
Yeah, so he doesn't die though, I believe, right?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, so he ends up shooting the old man. And it's good to see you, Dan. I hope you're doing well. It has been a while. Hopefully UK's treating you well. Yeah, it's not the worst of the timelines. The next one is where it's kind of like Halle Berry's a reporter.
Yeah.
I don't remember this. Oh yeah, that's who she buys the record from, the Cloud Atlas thing, right? So she goes to this gentleman to buy the record of what was created by these two men. Which, actually thinking about it, how is that possible?
What do you mean?
Isn't this in a parallel universe?
No, it's the same. What? No, it's reincarnation.
Oh, yes. Sorry. My brain went into the...
Did you watch this whole movie thinking it was parallel universes?
No, I just,
despite
for some
the fact
reason,
that I multiple times talked about how it's reincarnation.
No, I just had a moment.
Okay.
The third story unfolds through Louisa Ray and her investigation into an unsafe nuclear power plant. Hugh Grant is kind of the wheeler and dealer manager, big boss.
He
of
seems
the
to be
plant.
like the ruthless leader throughout every single lifetime.
Yeah, he seems to have
He's usually a piece of shit.
Yeah, the highest upper hand, but he's not as big of an evil person as you are right. You called him evil incarnate while we were watching it. Well, that's because
that's what while we were watching it?
Oh, and that's what... It's also, his name's Bill Smoke in this one, so... I mean, that's kind of a cool name. He's also a hitman, Bill Smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Isaac Sachs, this Tom Hanks, is the scientist who, for some reason...
So it does seem to me, looking at this, that they all seem to be kind of like the same archetype through every life. So he's always the everyman chooser.
Yeah.
But, like, okay.
And she's always the believer, it looks like.
Yeah.
There's always an apprentice, I guess, and a ruthless leader.
Yeah.
But basically, she's trying to figure out why Big Oil has an investment in this nuclear power plant, and it's because it's going to fail on purpose so that oil can continue to reign supreme, right? Kind of like after that 3 Mile Island in the States, everyone was super scared of nuclear electricity or nuclear power. He is cool though. He smokes a joint with Halle Berry. She asks, "You cool?" He's like, "I'm cool."
Yeah.
I was like, "No, you're not that cool." Then we get to this where Jim Broadbent is kind of, I would say, the main character of this storyline.
Yeah.
Timothy Cavendish is his name. He is... I don't really know what his job is.
I think he's a writer.
Yeah, but... And he publishes this guy's book. Yeah. Dermot Hoggins, who is... Tom Hanks as an Irish mobster.
But, like, worst Irish accent I've ever heard.
Honestly, anyone who's actually Irish, like Mr. Mercedes...
Isn't that Scottish?
Or Scottish, yeah.
Either way. Anybody, anybody.
It's
Either
offensive.
way, it's not good.
I don't have any Irish in me at all, and I was offended.
Yeah, no, it just sounds like if somebody's talking like this a little bit.
It was so bad. The only good part is he catches you totally off guard and hucks this dude off the balcony and, like I said, fucking tomato soup everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was like, holy shit. But other than that, I really started saying to Krissy, like, I don't know if Tom Hanks can actually act.
But then in this lifetime, they also give Hugo Weaving, like they give him lady makeup.
This is Hugo.
It's not good.
It's so bad.
You also realize how tall Hugo Weaving is because like once he's playing a woman and they like have scenes where he's standing behind everyone, you just realize like how I didn't realize how tall Hugo Weaving was.
Yeah, he dominates everybody almost in every scene.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's the evil one again. Like the abusive.
Oh, and then the
Hugh
ruthless
Grant.
leader, yeah, he's the brother in this lifetime of him, and he throws him in like an insane asylum old folks
He
home.
tricks him because he's seeking safety from Tom Hanks.
And it is in that lifetime when he's trying to escape the asylum, he yells at the old people, "Soylent Green is people."
And for those who don't know, that's a movie from times past.
And it is actually a reference. It is like kind of laying groundwork for something that will happen future in the movie. Which, I mean, I guess the one nice thing about it is it deals more with Soylent Green than the movie Soylent Green ever fucking dealt with Soylent Green.
Yeah, we'll tell you what that is when we get
that.
there for those who don't know. But the thing I didn't like about it is that is a wall break. That's our reality.
No. It makes it just like happening in our universe.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like a
break.
self-aware comment, right, in the movie, right? Because it comes up.
Like I've watched other movies that like reference movies. You can't expect movies to exist in a vacuum where like people aren't experiencing like entertainment or movies, right?
Yeah.
I like it when things are like referential to other media because then it kind of like helps world build. When they don't reference other stuff, it's like they're just existing in this weird universe where like the internet and phones don't exist and people don't go see movies. So
well, I don't know. Some movies acknowledge realistic things and some don't. I don't know. I just found it weird. But, good for Soylent Green's. Crappy movie was made in both avenues. I don't remember who this guy is.
They're in the bar. So remember when the old people have escaped?
Yeah.
And they're in the bar and they're trying to get them to come back to the asylum. And then the guy who only says, I know.
Yeah.
He actually starts like speaking help us. These people are trying to, and then like
Crap
this
on our
guy
rights.
comes over and he gets headbutted. And then he goes fucking crazy and starts to like
this was probably my favorite timeline.
Yeah.
But mainly because
Jim Broadbent's
Broadbent.
fucking great.
He's basically, his brother tricks him and he finds out some of the other old people were also just abandoned by their family, but they're still, cognitively aware people. And they plan like an old person prison break. Yeah. It's pretty good. And then it's just like this has got to be the most problematic one.
Yeah.
In IMO.
Just because of all of the race swapping makeups that happen.
So it's in Neo-Seoul, Korea. So just to give you an idea of the Asian makeups we're talking about. This is Hugh Grant.
Yeah. It's everything's run by corporocrats.
That's Hugh Grant. These are like these are through the three main. This is Hugo Weaving
and Hugo Weaving.
That's Hugo Weaving. He's an adult man, probably in his 50s when he filmed this. He knew he shouldn't do this, and I guarantee Tom Hanks is like, I'm not going to be in that scene. Fuck you guys. Speaking of references, I talked about Skynet internet on stream a while ago. I had a couple Americans not believe it was a real company until I showed them the website for it. Yeah, Skynet's gonna. I wonder if when we get taken over by Skynet, they'll actually call it that. But like, there's some serious stuff happening in these scenes.
Like I said, the Trongle brows are problematic.
There's some serious things going on. Some emotional.
There's a
trauma.
lot of things really problematic.
And then boom. Hey, tell me, how am I supposed to pay attention? So this is about. Oh, that's Halle Berry, by the way.
Yeah, that's Halle Berry.
I don't know if I
don't really remember him in that Lifetime, no.
Yeah. So this is Son Mi.
Yeah.
And Son Mi is a fabricant.
Yeah, so basically in this far future, everything is it's a corporation. So like I said, things are run by corporatocrats.
Yeah.
And she works at a restaurant, and basically this restaurant, instead of like hiring people, breeds fabricants to work for them, and their entire life is just working at this Papa San restaurant, going to bed, like they're fed this like food at nighttime that makes them tired. They fall asleep in their little pods. In the morning, they're given like a stimulant jab to wake up, and they go to work, and that's their entire existence.
Yeah. And they work in like a cafe bar.
And that choker that she's wearing, it's actually like if they act out, it'll immediately kill them by like hitting their carotid artery. So she is actually, well, she's the one that's like has the tattoo, but like her friend is being awoken at night by this dude to be
by this hot boy.
Yeah, he's banging her at nighttime. So she made it so that she would also wake up and kind of observe this. And throughout that, they start kind of like thinking outside of their programming.
Yeah. They also they find him like
Passed
after
out.
the deed, he's passed out with like foam over him because he was eating soap.
So that's what they call the food that they give them.
Yeah.
It's called soap. And she's like, he drinks the soap, it makes him happy.
Yeah.
So they start like watching this clip that is talking about like, I will not be criminally mistreated or whatever.
Yeah, I will not be criminally something like that.
Yeah.
I will not be treated criminally.
Yeah. And so she starts to be, like I said, be able to think for herself. And then he breaks her out.
Yeah, he breaks her out.
Yeah.
I don't know why specifically he breaks her out.
Well, I think that they were going to break out the first chick, but then she got killed.
That's true.
And so then because she had also started to like help liberate this chick, they're like, okay, well, you're our backup plan.
Yeah. And
because they've started this union to try to fight back against the corporatocrats.
Yeah, to overthrow Neo Soul.
Yeah.
And oh, there goes Jinjee. So
he starts to show her things about their society. And so one thing that, like, as a waitress at this restaurant, basically when they start to age out, they go through this process called exaltation, and they're never really told what it is other than like, oh, it's time for you to go to exaltation, and then you go off and you're never seen again. So he takes her and he shows her what this is, and they sit you down in this chair and they're like, oh, this is just to help remove your necklace, and then they like fucking like cow shoot you in the brain and kill you, and then put hooks through your feet and take you through a fucking meat processor, cut off your head, and the protein is then turned into that soap food. So they're feeding these chicks themselves.
Oh, Jinjee. So I got a question for you guys. Never mind. The problem with this is that it highlights that Soylent Green is people.
Yeah.
Basically, in the movie Soylent Green, the very last line is Soylent Green is people. And it's because they're feeding people in goo form. And so she and the other fabricants are, as the one guy says, a cheap form of food.
Yeah.
So the fabricants eat themselves, which is gross.
And so then they start to try to overturn society. Ultimately, they aren't successful. She gets captured and she's been interviewed throughout this whole process, being like, why have you been doing this? And the guy who plays Sexsmith, he's been given Asian face, and he's the one who's interviewing her. And he said, like, you're not going to be able to, like, change anything. And she's like, yes, but, like, at least there's at least one person out there that believes what I've said.
Yeah.
And that's, like, enough. Because she also starts to bring back, like, a philosophical teachings of, like, our life is not our own, like, and talking about reincarnation and that kind of stuff. Because, like, this philosophy has been outlawed under, like, the corporocratic structure. So then, yeah, she's killed by the government, and that's kind of the end of that storyline.
Yeah, they kind of just say, you knew this wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
But...
And she's like, yeah, but I still had to try.
Yeah, and it ties into this one because she is, like, their god.
Yeah. So, yeah, in the far, far future, she's viewed as the god to, like, the Valley's people, not necessarily, like, Halle Berry's character.
Yeah.
Halle Berry's character in the far, far future is part of, like... So, like, there's been, like, a fall of society. And...
This society.
Yeah. And everything's kind of gone back to...
like, tribal,
non-electricity, basic...
Forrest Gump voice.
Yeah. So... Except for, like, wherever Halle Berry's from, they've maintained a level of technology from the old ones,
I believe
as they call
she
them.
said that there was like a on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
They made sky or like space bases that they lived in when shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
But his peoples were there the whole time.
Yeah.
And there's something on the planet.
They
They
want.
reference rads. Your rad level is too high.
Yeah.
Which, from Fallout, to me, is radiation poisoning.
So we have to assume that there's been some sort of, like, nuclear fallout that caused the end of civilization.
They don't really say.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so she needs to get to this peak, which his people think contains the devil.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when they get there, it's like thousands and thousands of dead bodies or skeletons, right? So, I mean, what else would you think?
Which it's also confusing that they showed so many dead bodies because in the lifetime prior, it's shown that that's where Yeonmi was captured and, like, there was a shootout that happened, but the people who are participating in the shootout, there's, like, maybe 15 people.
Yeah. Like him and a couple of his buddies trying to defend her, but it's, and I don't even, just thousands of people.
And so that was weird. But anyway.
Yeah, so Tom Hanks' character.
He's, like, haunted by this, like, spirit.
Yeah, the reason that I brought up this picture specifically is I consider it the best makeup in the movie. It's Hugo Weaving as...
evil incarnate, but
a
he's
brain
like,
goblin.
Yeah, he's like a brain goblin.
Yeah, he is Tom Hanks' brain goblin.
Trying to convince him to do bad things.
Yeah, like, she's lying to you. You have to stop her. She
Yeah.
wants to take over the village. And he's like, no, true. No bad, true.
And then that's Hugh Grant. He's just like...
shit, I didn't even know that
You
was
didn't know
Hugh
that
Grant.
was Hugh Grant?
No, because he's like a cannibal, barbarian, tribal beast.
Yeah.
I just thought I didn't know that was him. I just thought it was someone else.
Yeah, no,
Crazy.
that's Hugh Grant.
The makeup's pretty good. It's just like a...
The makeup in that one's fine. But it's also because they're not trying to race swap anybody in that one.
I don't believe there's any race
Oh, no,
swapping
there
in.
is. They make the Asian lady white.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But they get to the point where Sanmi was so that Halle Berry
send off
can
some sort of
signal.
Yeah.
And then it kind of flash forwards to them being on another planet.
Yeah.
Pointing out to Earth where she and Tom Hanks are old married people with grandchildren.
Yeah.
Which is...
End of movie.
Yeah.
Finn.
And then end of Finn. But great makeup.
Bad
not
makeup.
great makeup. Also not
Bad
great
makeup. Bad makeup.
This scene.
This is bad makeup.
I can't even fully... Oh, yeah, this is part of this, isn't it?
No.
No. The smoke one.
It's part of that.
Because the hitman kills her, isn't it?
Yeah. He killed the dog, And then she comes in and she whacks him on the back of the head with like a lead pipe.
Yeah, so this is Latina makeup
Yeah.
on the Asian woman.
Yeah.
So it looks like they just stuck fat on her face and made her talk in a very poor
Oh yeah,
accent.
like it's supposed to be like an offensive Latina accent, but it still sounds quite Asian.
And for absolutely no reason, Hugo Weaving's character throws slur at her.
Yeah.
And shoots her dog.
Yeah.
And then she gets retribution.
The slur involves like imagine your back with moisture on it.
Yeah, it's
that one.
It's highly unnecessary,
Yeah.
and her in that scene in general it's just weird. So I know I can't watch it now.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you don't get to see it. It's
No.
just the sound of a gun.
Yeah.
And maybe that generic, meow, but she's kind of doing that like, no, you can't come in here. No, you can't come in here. Kind of thing. And so
she's like, no immigrants here, you can't come in, no immigrants here, no immigrants here.
It's so unnecessary. And
It's-
they could have left out the whole scene, other than that's how Hugo Weaving's character dies in that scene, because she lead pipes him in the head.
Yeah.
This one we already showed you, the Caucasianization of the Asian lady as well.
The ginger Caucasian.
Yeah.
Caucasian.
So this other thing that we found is actually like a little synopsis of Halle Berry and her characters. From, I don't know, someone took a picture of a magazine.
Yeah.
So this one specifically,
That one was not good.
she says, I went to sleep and I woke up and I was this gnarly looking Asian old man. You got to be kidding if you looked in the mirror and went, hey, I look like an Asian man.
Oh, and then what about the Jocasta Ayers? Barry wore a prosthetic over her little pug nose that looks like I ran into a wall.
So that she would be able to play more of a German Jewish woman. So their main thing was they fucking threw corn starch at her face and put a nose on her. This one, she's apparently an Indian woman.
I would have never guessed she was an Indian woman.
The band?
I mean, she was wearing like a sari, I guess, but like...
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Halle Berry? You've been in a lot of movies, and you're gonna say you look like this was a good career move? Bad career move.
Yeah.
Very bad. That one's fine.
Yeah, that was fine.
Hello, Mr. Phillip. How are you? We were just given a synopsis of the movie Cloud Atlas.
Is there a synopsis to give? Because it's not like a distinct, like, beginning, middle, end.
Yeah, there's, like Krissy said, it's got obviously a huge amount of Tropic Thunder. Yeah, at least Tropic Thunder was self-aware of what they were doing, right? That when they had what's his name? Iron Man.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, pretending to be a black man while highlighting the fact that he is pretending to be a black man and how absurd it is. This had no absurdity.
No.
They had an actual person of Asian descent sitting next to this person, and we're supposed to go, yeah, same.
It's the eyebrows and the monolids. Like, I just don't know.
He looks like he was in a
Why
fire.
not just cast some Asian people?
Yeah, like, I know that...
Cast more Asian people in the Asian roles.
They used that comet thing, right? Where they were like, where the comet birthmark kind of is what let you know who was who.
Yeah.
And I know that they couldn't have done it for everybody, but you could have tied it in while using somebody else than anybody looking like this.
Yeah.
This is insane. Arguably, this is amazing in comparison.
Yeah, Jim Sturgis does look a lot better than Hugo Weaving, but still, like, there's no excuse for this shit. No excuse for this shit. And I remember when I watched the movie back when it came out in 2012 as well, because I was excited for the movie because I had been aware of the book for a long time, and so I was really excited for it. And I was so disappointed in this 11 years ago. And it still, it didn't hold up then, and it doesn't hold up now.
Honestly, I think the Wachowski sisters got lucky with The Matrix and how awesome, the people did with it. And how they did the graphics and the filming of it and everything. Because Jupiter Ascending, shit. Cloud Atlas,
There's lots of interesting stuff in the story.
Yeah.
The story itself is really, really interesting. The execution, though, is just so beyond questionable.
Yeah, and again, one of the things that comes to my mind, I know you're in a movie and I know you're being paid to act a certain way, but not one of the cast or crew said, bad idea.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't.
It's a bad idea. Shouldn't do that one.
Do you think maybe we should just hire some actual Korean actors to be in Neo Soul? Wouldn't that make more sense?
It just blows my mind.
Surely there has to be a Korean man out there that in his own way resembles Hugo Weaving enough that you could be like, that's like a Korean Hugo Weaving. You know what I mean?
I really got to step outside for a second. Sorry to abandon you.
Yeah.
I just feel like I exploded.
No, that's fine.
I have to pee really bad.
Okay. Sorry, there's a cat on my lap, and as very sweet as it is a bit of a weight.
Yeah.
And to maneuver my body is not very easy.
Another movie if you get bored.
Or I'll just you probably won't pee that long.
No.
Yeah, so, like I said, I'm all here for movies about themes of reincarnation. But there was just a lot of execution in it that was really, really highly questionable. And yeah, at one point, so this actor Keith David, oh my goodness, I don't know how to... Evan, I don't know how to show you screens, so you'll just have to listen to me talk, so sorry about that. There's this one actor, Keith David. You can look him up if you want to. He's a very great actor. I know him from Requiem for a Dream. He has a minor role. He plays he's in the 1970s timeline, and then he's in the Neo Soul timeline. And and then he's also in the first timeline where Jim Sturgis plays the lawyer on the boat. Anyway, so Keith David in the Neo Soul timeline, they give him once again these Asian eyebrows and monolids that they did, and it's so questionable. I don't know. I just what's the point? And I don't want to sound like how most of the time it's it's always only white people complaining about this kind of stuff. But I don't think I don't think this is just white people choosing to be offended about random shit online. It's just truly fucking bizarre.
I've been drinking more water to help with my caffeine ingestion, and water hits me quick. Your hair looks a bit red. Must be the light.
Oh yeah.
I didn't quite hear what you were talking about. But...
Oh, I was talking about this movie again, and how I don't think how most of the time when people are overreacting, it's usually people being oh, it's just white people overreacting about a situation. I don't think that this is that. This movie, there's a lot here that's super highly questionable. Oh my god!
God damn it! So Philip Torkington says this is from one of his favorite Doctor Who episodes that they kind of ruined with this. My god, why?
Why
no,
do this? Don't do this.
No story is improved by doing that. if you're just trying to save a couple bucks from getting another actor,
Yeah, I just...
water's good stuff. What do you guys think about the recasting of the Cleveland in Family Guy as a black voice actor instead of a white one? That's good. I mean, cartoons, I'm not gonna...
Yeah.
I don't think people should be simulating other cultures.
Especially, like... Because
Cadences?
I guess the thing, too, about... Because what's that character's name again?
Cleveland,
yeah. He does talk in a
He's
very
Chandler.
kind of stereotypical voice. So I can understand when it's racist when a white guy is doing like a stereotypical black voice of a black character.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I know that
But I mean,
like...
also, once again, is this like white people complaining about shit that they're
That's what I was
going
to say. Like, sometimes I go, I'm a little German boy. You know, like, and that, is it because I'm white, is it okay to pretend to talk German? I think it's...
But I do
has
think,
to
like,
be
this shit's not okay.
I mean, these things are, you notice them in each other. You know, if you meet someone from across the world that talks English slightly different, but it's to notice it not in a scrupulous way, like, but in an interesting way, right? Like, we say hard R's and you don't, you know, but that's not bad on your part or our part. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
That our cultures developed that
But
way.
I also encourage you to make fun of Canadians and try to say your hard R's.
Yeah, try to say your hard R's.
Yeah.
The recasting of Rick and Morty, however, I stopped watching it when all that shit came out about what's his name being a freak. Justin Roiland. Cloud Atlas.
Yeah.
I one of my biggest takeaways from it was Tom Hanks isn't that versatile.
And honestly, another thing that upset me is like this. Like I said, the story is good, so there's moments in the story that make you want to be emotional, but then the makeup is so just jarringly bad that there was literally a moment where I was like on the verge of tears because it was a nice emotional moment, and then it's like fucking white ginger makeup on an Asian lady, and it was just so emotionally jarring that I was like,
you're like, oh no, what are they going to do to the fabricants? I'll remove your collar.
Yeah.
What? You couldn't help but like be sucked out of every moment every time you seen something like that. It was like you had to have watched this back before you released it, right? Like, I think it depends if you're trying to actually represent a different culture. But if you're just doing a voice for fun, there's no underlining bull, then it's cool, but I'm white too, so I don't know. Yeah, like, it's... accents, I mean, look, you shouldn't change your appearance to look like another culture. I think we've come to that form of things with Halloween costumes and all that stuff. But voices and accents and stuff they're different because, like, say I'm like me and Mr. Levity both speak English, but he might not understand everything I say and I might not understand everything he says. So we might find like a common ground where I'll use some words from Canada and he'll use some words, or vice versa, right? But I don't know what I'm getting at. I just don't know how anyone looked at specifically this.
Yeah.
And was like, yeah, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
That's Halle Berry. As I couldn't tell anymore. Did we hire Halle Berry or an
Is that the
Asian
years
man?
that it's supposed to happen? 2144.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, 2012.
That one's cut off.
1973.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So those are the years it's supposed to be happening. Okay.
White Caucasian skin is not easy to create. I did feel transformed. The nose, the eyes, the hair, and wearing the period clothes changed the way I stood. The energy that I walked in the room with. This is a white woman, a white Jewish woman named...
I mean, I will say the moment I saw her, I was like, that's Halle Berry with whiteface.
Yeah. It's like...
I honestly didn't even realize they put a nose prosthetic on her until they put her up against each other.
Yeah, until we were reading this, I didn't know she was a German Jewish woman. I thought she was as herself.
Well, no, I assumed she was Jewish based off the context of what was said in the scene. Like when the old man said to the young man, like, you do know what's happening in Germany right now as to why they couldn't be together. I mean, I would have to assume that, like, since the other guy was a high commander in the German army, that she was Jewish. That's what one would have to assume.
Yeah, I guess maybe some of that was back in here.
Okay.
Holy
Hey,
crap!
Zava!
Holy crap! Hola, it's for you guys.
The makeup changed me. What about the role?
Yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah.
This movie just had Zaffo. What do you think about this? If I told you this was Halle Berry,
Go, lads. Let's fucking go.
would you say let's fucking go, lads? That's Halle Berry. It's awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, we watched some movies that were about almost literally 100 years older than this that we enjoyed significantly more. It just goes to show that you don't need 3 hours. You just need to make it better.
But I think also this is why this story probably excelled more as a book than it does in visual media. Also, from what I've never actually read the book, but from what's been described to me, is it's basically written as like you have a bunch of beginnings and then ends. So it's almost like you wrote like a bunch of like one full story and like laid them on top of each other and then folded it in half, and then that's how you read it.
Yeah, it's true because all the endings happen at the end. Yeah. Main takeaways. Hugo Weaving, if you see him out in public, he might be up to evil incarnate. Don't put Asian face on people. Tom Hanks isn't really that great of an actor. And read the comments before you put 3 hours of your life into it. I'm just kidding.
In your defense, I did just kind of like put it on and then start like chuckling about it to myself.
I don't mind. I'll watch good things, bad things, as long as it's like I've watched a movie that I'll remember. I've watched movies that I will never remember again, but I highly doubt I will ever forget this.
No, you
ever.
won't. You will never forget that.
It's just, come on now.
When you die and you're going through your life review, this will be a memory in your life review.
Yeah.
When your life is flashing before your eyes, you'll be like, Halle Berry is an Asian man. Ah!
God will be like, you were 20 years old when this came out. Why didn't you stop it? Yeah, it's...
Press X to J-Sun.
It was, it's an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some...
It's better than Power of the Dog.
Yes. Power of the Dog was...
I would say it's at least worth watching in comparison to Power of the Dog.
Mr. Levity. I'm just kidding.
That will always be the bench.
Yeah. I am the TTS doer of the things. So don't you worry. Oh, I didn't even realize the name is
Ovid?
Ovid.
Yeah.
Classic Ovid. I hate you for forcing me to watch that. We didn't force you to watch anything.
Run while I build this rope. Fuck yeah.
However, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting some lower back pains. Hence, my posture has become.
We've creeped down.
Yeah. I need to run in and get more eye drops because I ran out this morning. Yeah.
Yeah. We saw Carl this morning. Oh yeah, we talked about Carl.
Yeah, we talked about all of our love. Evan's lost a few inches in his spine. Yesterday was pretty brutal. I woke up
you had
with
a bad migraine all day long.
Like basically just inflammation galore. And if the pills I take in the morning don't take it away, I just have to kind of pray that the ones in after supper take it away.
Yeah.
But I was doing some cold and hot and taking Tylenol, and it helped.
You went and laid in the snow for a while.
Oh, yes. I made like a little pyramid of snow and laid in it.
Yeah. I made myself a sleeping bonnet on Saturday. That was lots of fun. don't know why. I just got it in my head that I need a sleeping bonnet. I was you know how sometimes social media gives you like suggestions and you're like, and they get at you. This random videos of this lady have been popping up in my Facebook feed, and it's like this lady talking about sleeping bonnets, and I'm like, I want a sleeping bonnet.
She looks very totes adorbs.
So I made myself one, and it's very comfortable, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was also nice to sew because I hadn't sewn in a very long time. So it was nice to break out the sewing machine and prove to myself that I can sew an entire project in this tiny space.
Yeah. It's proves the setup worked. I've been doing some calligraphy just to, keep up with my brain. Helps with my anxiety.
You've
helps
also
me
been
focus
making
on
like
something.
a ton of your...
Yeah, all of my
pens.
calligraphy stuff's in Moose Jaw, so I had to make myself some pens.
Out of Carriganas and pop cans.
And the internet.
You should show them one.
I think I put
Did
a
you?
picture on
Oh,
Discord.
okay.
There's of one of them that actually doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
I'll put a picture on Discord or something. It's show us calligraphy. I've never done it on stream. I've only talked about it for a couple of years.
Do you have any like pieces of paper with your calligraphy, or is it all upstairs?
It's all upstairs.
Oh.
I'll show you in Discord maybe if I'm not feeling shy.
He's actually really good at calligraphy, so like, I'm just saying, you have talent. You have a talent.
For some strange reason. I don't know why it's just something that I don't know why I found it interesting. Maybe I was a scribe in another lifetime.
Anytime we watch something now and it has like writing, he like pauses it and analyzes it. He's that person. Like when we were watching.
Sorry, we were watching what?
When we were watching Cloud Atlas, there was somebody who was writing with like a dip pen, and you like paused it to like bitch about.
Well,
how it
you
wasn't
can't
accurate.
hold it like that, or it won't work. It does bother me now. I'm one of those people that has learned something niche, and then when they see it, they go,
No.
"Oh, you wouldn't be using that at this time in history." Want to pet that dog? I gotta listen to it one more time for Deadweight Nate. It's his fault. It's his freaking fault. Jaffo, if you haven't seen this, I mean, it'll make your day.
You cannot pet that dog.
No.
Cannot pet that dog.
You can
No.
Cannot pet that dog.
No.
Pet that dog. Pet that dog. Gonna pet that dog.
We're gonna listen to the remix on the way out here, everybody. Just because, you got gonna pet that dog. There, that was loud. Because if you do see a dog like that,
You cannot pet that dog.
No.
hey, this isn't it.
Pet that dog.
No.
Cannot pet
You're
that
cheating.
dog.
No.
Cannot pet that dog.
That was Oh, someone played Margarita. You get it. Can I
Yeah.
pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? You guys
That
pet
is not
that dog.
a dog that should be pet. Neither should forest puppies.
That was a bear. Yeah, don't pet forest puppies. Thank you guys for coming to hang out. Take care. Send in love. We will hopefully be feeling good enough tomorrow to hang out with you buttes. Don't pet the bear with your bare hands. Jason. Bad Jason. Bad freaking Jason. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to us rant about
Movies. Yeah.
movies.
We've ranted a lot about just movies today.
We did show them, can you pet that dog? Can you pet that dog? You guys will hop on Violetta's tractor and we're peacing out. Grab yourself a nice herbal carbonated cocktail. Check Discord for a calligraphy wiener. I'm just kidding. For Jason.
Ooh, Violet is a link to their woods.
Take care. Great to see you. Lovely. You're all wonderful. You're beautiful human beings with beautiful faces. Don't let anyone from Cloud Atlas do any makeup on them. Love, love.
Bye.
Bye.